Hi all, nice to have you there online. I hope you are fine. We are fine here in Finland. We are enjoying about the nightless summer. The sun is shining now basically 24/7. Our forests are growing. They are enjoying also the light and they are capturing CO2 from the atmosphere, so all good. Welcome to our open house. My name is Hanna Kalliomäki. I work as Sustainability Director in Paptic. And let's be active today. The chat is open the whole day. The event, during the event and during the different speeches, feel free and please send us comments, send us questions. Let's have a discussion over there. We will have this sustainability topic now for around 20 minutes, and after that we go straight away to your questions. So meet you there. We are happy to answer to your questions. We saw Katie Kubrak's presentation about sustainable consumption, how consumers are taking it, and what kind of role packaging materials have in delivering the messages regarding sustainability. So thank you very much, Katie. It was a great presentation, and Katie is coming from Nirvana CPH. And I'm sure that it was very interesting to many of you as you are struggling and also finding solutions to the same challenges what we saw in Katie's examples. Very good. For us, it's very easy to continue from that topic, and let's go to see what Paptic really is about and how we see the world. What do we stand for, and what do we stand for? They are good questions, and I'm sure that they are very familiar questions to you as well. We all are aware of climate change. We are all aware of the role of plastics in the world and also in packaging, and we are aware of the problem what comes to microplastics in our lives and in all the chains that are taking place on the globe. And we know the unfortunate consequences that they have, but today we are not going further to those. I trust and that we are fully aware of those. But this is something that raises the need for solutions, and this is where Paptic comes to place. So Paptic was first established due to the demand for sustainable packaging materials and to find solutions for those problems which I just mentioned. And Paptic was established in 2015, and it was really the customers' demand that raised up the idea for the company. So the boundaries were fiber-based materials, very good recyclability, and then other packaging material properties that are needed among our customers. We created a new material and then a variety of new materials, and we brought a solution to the market. Our customers in over 40 countries have changed their packaging materials to Paptic this far. They have gained quite nice results what comes to sustainability measures, environmental impact measures, and also business measures. Brand support is of course one of the key values what is interesting for the retailers, brand owners, and so on. And it's very understandable that companies have interest to make the change from using plastics, for example, or some other conventional packaging materials, and take Paptic into use, because we know that there is a lot of increasing pressure for making sustainable choices in all the living what we do, in all the consumption profile what we have, including the packaging solutions and packaging material alternatives. The markets are a bit different. Different markets, different countries, market areas have different kinds of emphases that what sustainability angles are the most relevant. We are following that very carefully. The legislation is getting stricter all the time. There are a lot of legislations which are now under preparation and are coming into force in the coming years. Customers, including retailers, brand owners, converters and so on, are interested in finding solutions. They need to be efficient, cost efficient, production-wise efficient, and also to support the sustainability targets that the companies have. And then we come to the consumers. They are aware and they are very also worried about the sustainability issues, and they want to make sustainable choices. But it's good to remember that consumers can't do the choices if alternatives are if there are no alternatives on the market. So that is the reason why we at Paptic want to bring solutions and alternatives for you to choose about. I believe, and we at Paptic believe, that with our cooperation we support with each other, we support your brand and business, we support sustainability and also the whole society to making the little by little and step by step the change towards sustainable choices. That's what is needed. Little parts are leading us to the bigger road, which of course then leads to better future for us all. Very good. I have one good example of one of the applications where Paptic can be used. Let's check that. So we see that on the picture there is the conventional box and then there is a Paptic mailer. This is a good example of a very simple alternative what we can offer with Paptic products, and it also changes the way of operating in the whole logistics chain a bit and to the better direction. So changing box to a mailer bag actually creates and brings environmental and cost benefits to you as a brand owner or retailer or e-commerce provider. The box and the mailer are here in comparison, so they both can be used to pack different kinds of items, of course, depending on the item and the size and the sharpness and the weight. The materials need to be taken into account. But when we think, for example, a shirt or skirt or something like that, then we see that they both are protecting the goods very well. And when we go to the next aspects, which are highly relevant, we see that Paptic has quite many benefits and advantages. So it provides you packaging according to the size of the goods, and of course it has an impact through lower costs and lower emissions. No extra space is needed in the warehousing, no empty space transported in the logistics. Brand supporting consumer experience is important. Packaging material fits to a small place at home. That's actually surprisingly important what comes to consumers' willingness to do recycling properly. Mixed waste usually includes a lot of materials that should be separated and should be sorted to different fractions, but if they fit to small space at home, then consumer is more likely to do that. And all packaging materials can be recycled with paperboards. Yes, if mailers, if the content is directly back to the mailer, for example, then it's easy to put to paperboards. If in the box there are items which are wrapped in plastics, then consumer needs to do the separation first and then put the different kinds of packaging materials to different fractions. All right. Benefits are clear, but how do we really get here? In Paptic, there is quite a lot of thinking behind this. Let's go and check those. We at Paptic believe in awareness and choosing right. In this picture we see that what kind of steps do we make in evaluating that what is right and what path do we which path is such that we don't want to take that. We see that everything starts from the very beginning, and for us it means that it starts with the raw materials. We rather choose renewable raw materials from sustainable sources than the conventional fossil raw materials from finite resources. So we have chosen the raw materials. Then we go to the product development. We think that new innovations need to be made and they need to be brought to the market. And that is the reason why we focus on developing sustainable materials with the best properties. As I said earlier, we have listened to you carefully. We actually know the packaging business quite well. We know the properties, what needs to be included there. So that is then the next step on top of choosing the right raw materials. Then in the third place, turn our eyes towards the technologies and the production processes. There we need to know what are the essentially environmental impacts, and we need to focus on improving them. For us, for example, it means that we favor renewable energy, we put focus on water issues, chemical circulations, sourcing from right and transparent and reliable suppliers, and also knowing that where do we operate with production, where do we produce. For us, it means that we have chosen to operate in Europe, where the conditions and the environmental legislation are in place, and they are good and reliable choices. Next choice we have ahead is that in which way do we support our customers? We have chosen to support our customers' business with sustainable products and solutions, and we want to emphasize the easiness, how Paptic materials can be taken into use with current production lines, with current packaging lines and so forth. So that's important from our perspective, and it's our opinion that the change for sustainable needs to be as easy as possible. And that's what we focus on. Through making these kind of choices, what do we get? We get reusable and recyclable materials that fit to circular economy and fulfill the criteria of sustainability. And we operate within the sustainable development boundaries. We start from the renewable raw materials. We end up to reusable and recyclable materials that we offer to our customers, and that is the basis when we talk about our 3R thinking. You hear from Tommy's presentation, Katja's and Bruno's presentation, in all of our presentations, we talk quite a lot about 3R, but I just wanted to open up that it means much more to us. There are many choices that we have made in between before coming to this conclusion. All right, we have materials in place. We need to remember that recyclability and keeping the materials in materials circulations is very important in circular economy. We often take recycling and recyclability as granted, but let's stop for a while to think that why is it so important? In the world, nothing really disappears. It just changes the form. If we think the materials and the goods that we have used, one option is to put them to the waste, and then the waste goes to waste incineration. Burning is one way of changing the form of the material, and that causes CO2. Therefore, it's not wise. Then we understand quite easily why it's important to keep materials as materials in order to avoid CO2 emissions. Then we come to recycling. Recycling as material is a very good way to keep the fibers, for example, as fibers, and then they can be used to new fiber-based products. Strong fibers, like fibers that we have in Paptic products, they can be used up to 7 times. it's quite many times, and many products can be made of that fiber, which is currently at the moment in Paptic product. Paper and paperboard are a packaging material stream that is working very well. They are recycled altogether more than all other materials together. And the level of recycling is very high. In Europe it's 85%. So it's very efficient, and therefore we can also produce different kinds of goods and materials out of recycled fiber. But it's good to keep in mind and remember that each time one fiber is used, it gets a bit shorter. And that means that the recycled fiber can't be used forever. It can be used up to 7 times, but new fibers, strong, long natural fibers, need to be added to the flow all the time. And that is then the case why we at Paptic promote recycling, and we want to remind you that all of our products are recyclable and they support the whole recycling system. I'm sure that many of you are willing to use both Paptic and also materials which are made of recycled fiber. And as they say, it takes 2 to tango, so both are needed now and in the future. And in circular economy, all materials should have same kinds of principles for keeping the materials in materials use also in the next phase after the primary use. Unfortunately, still the recycling of plastics is not functioning very efficiently, and the rates are currently quite low. There is quite a lot of areas in the world where we don't even have the knowledge that what is the recycling levels of plastics. But with fiber-based products, we can offer quite good situation and recycling facilities and good recycling levels with the materials that we are now talking about. So that's good. Well, that's for recycling and recyclability. It is a key thing, but let's now get back to the forest and jump not to any forest, but the sustainably managed forest. Welcome to the forest. Let's imagine that we are all in the forest. It's very easy for us in Finland. We are close to forest anywhere we go. I hope you get the same feeling and same imagination. All right, now we are in the forest where the wood grows more than it's used. We are in a sustainably managed forest. It means that the use of wood does not cause any deforestation. It means that harvesting is always legal. It means that human rights are not violated, and it means that biodiversity values of nature are respected. This is just a few things to mention. Sustainable forest management is actually a very large topic that we here at Paptic want to take care about to support your business again. And we can offer our products to you with FSC certification if you wish. But we at Paptic, we accept only fibers from sustainably managed forests and 100% sustainable sources. It's one of the choices that we have made. And here we operate in the Nordics, and we operate in Europe, where forest resources are actually on quite nice condition and shape. I don't know whether you know Finland or have visited here, but almost anywhere you go you see forests, and 75% of Finland is covered with forests, and the next 10% is covered with lakes. So there is quite a lot of these kind of landscapes what we see on the slide. So a lot of lakes surrounded by like very large area forests. In the Nordics, forests grow today more than ever. We actually have a very long database for following and measuring that what is the growth of the forests, and therefore we know that what is really the situation at the moment. Let's take Finland again as an example. We have data available very well, so we can say that since 1970s the volume of Finnish forests has nearly doubled, and today the growth exceeds the use quite a lot. We are forerunners here in the Nordics, also in forest certification. 80% of Finnish forests are certified, and in our neighboring countries the levels are high as well. In this point I ask you to have a guess. If I say that 80% of Finnish forests are certified, have a guess that what is the global average figure. So how big share of the forests globally are under a reliable forest management certification scheme? I will get to that later then in the end of this session. As we saw in the beautiful picture, the forests are surrounded by waters. And water is a globally very important sustainability topic. I don't know whether you know, but the Nordic countries are rich with water resources, the richest in the world. The forests grow well with no irrigation. Forestry as such does not weaken any people's access to water. That's very important. Therefore, for these reasons, we mainly use the Nordic pulps. That's our choice. In addition to pulp, we use the extra long fibers in our products. And sustainability has been taken into account, of course, also in this topic, and the fiber comes from reliable and transparent suppliers in Europe. And as you most likely know, sourcing from Europe quite well guarantees the compliance of the comprehensive European environmental legislation, which is the strictest in the world. Now we have gone through quite an exploration. And as you see, sustainability is part of everything that we do. No one can really say that it's not our business, because it is. And it's your business as well. We always stand for sustainability. We offer sustainable alternatives. Our products can help you to decrease the use of plastics easily and with measurable impacts. We support to develop your business and support you in reaching your sustainability targets. We are in line with sustainable future. Good, many things. We had one question. It was about the share of certified forests in the world. Did you put your guess to the chat? The right answer is only 10%. Therefore, and for that reason, it's very important to know how to choose right. Thanks for this session. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have found interesting angles and information. And I hope that you have put a lot of questions to chat. So shall we go there and discuss further? Thanks.